going after. If he going for a baddie and he going for a certain caliber of woman, he should expect to be spending for that attention among that woman.
How much?
Now, if
How
he's
much?
going for
How
an
much? How much
average
should he
baddie,
expect to pay?
I think the first date should at least be at least $100, or it could be $10. It depends on the man. It
$100?
depends on the man. It depends on where we going. We could be
What we
going
getting for
bowling,
$100?
huh?
What are we getting for $100? A fucking salad?
We going to bowling. We could go to the museum. The tickets be like $39.
All right, so you telling me on a first date?
Mm-hmm.
On a first date, you are right with wings and fries?
It depends on the man.
Oh.
You see, you gotta understand
So
what
that's
kind of
being
man we're
biased.
talking about. Yes, it's biased. If you a corny nigga, but you want my
And you know
attention,
what's funny?
you gonna spend for my time.
Yep, fact.
That's crazy.
That's not crazy. It's the same way y'all operate.
Yep.
Y'all operate the same exact way.
How we
Let me
operate?
break it down to you.
Yeah,
Let me
hear
break it
this
down to you,
bullshit
right?
you telling us.
You not spending no bread on a fucking girl that don't look up to par. You're not. You're
No, I'm not
take
going
her to,
out with her either.
Exactly.
But you still
Exactly.
going out for the food. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're not talking about me. We're talking about in general.
Yo,
You have a rotation of men.
You
A
think you're the only
rotation.
one who do it?
Huh?
You think you're the only person who do it?
Do what?
Go out just for the food?
I don't just go out for the food. I don't. It just happens to be that food is involved.
All right,
Yeah,
so let me
it
ask you a question. If you go out, right, and a dude, let's say a dude, you order surf and turf, all of that, right? Loaded potato, all of that, right?
I went on a
And that
date,
nigga
my
wants to
first
fuck
date with
tonight.
a
I'm
60-year-old.
not that girl.
He was in his
I'm not that
60s.
girl.
So what you going
I'm
out
not
And
that
we
for?
went to
girl.
the fish
What you went out
market.
for? For what?
You gotta take out that type of girl. The girl that likes
Fish
that
What
market.
did you go out with him
Seafood
for?
restaurant
to
bar.
get to know him.
How you gonna get somebody? How
Restaurant
you
and
gonna get to
bar.
know somebody in a restaurant?
We
Oh,
sit, we have a nice quiet
we
area.
went to the crab
You
cab
said
We
too.
talk, we eat,
Crab
we
cab.
but I'm not you got those women, the ones that want the seafood boiling dick
Crab.
at the end. That's not me.
Let me tell you
That ain't
something.
me either. I
I
had
give
the
you a handshake
seafood.
and
I
a
had the
hug to you.
seafood, but
It's
no dick.
almost impossible for you to get to know somebody at a fucking 2-hour date
But big up Tony anyway.
over a fucking table with noise in the
It
background.
don't necessarily have to. I went to a beautiful
No,
restaurant.
it
the other
wasn't
day. It was
noisy.
calm
It
and
was a
quiet. What you
quiet,
talking about?
quiet
It don't have to be loud.
atmosphere.
You can find a nice
What are you
Crab
gonna know?
cab
What
is
are you
a
gonna know about
small,
that man?
intimate
Now,
sit
restaurant.
there and I'm gonna have a nice conversation. It could be a detailed conversation about his life. It could be a detailed conversation about my life. It could be just something
And I'm
that
gonna
we
tell
both.
you,
If there's
Why
and I'm
do
chemistry,
gonna tell you
people
whatever the
keep
fuck you
parking
want to
there
hear.
with a
whatever you want to
non-electric
tell me, I can tell you
vehicle
whatever I
taking
want to
up
tell
the
you. The
fucking
bottom
Right,
line
parking?
is,
but I guarantee you won't be eating like this again.
These
why?
people's fucking
You could
retarded.
tell me whatever you want to tell me, but I guarantee you the next time we go out, you're gonna have chicken tenders.
I will take chicken tender from a certain type of man. You see, Nigel, this is what you got to understand.
Certain
And
type
let me
of
just say
man,
this real
exactly.
quick. Some men need to understand the category
I
they
know my
stand in.
values, so can't
There's a
nobody
certain type
just
of man. Just hear me out. There's a certain type of
deal
man that
with
can
me.
bring a woman to McDonald's
Hell
and
yeah.
she wouldn't mind because of who he
He
is.
is.
His
Exactly.
characteristics.
That
I am telling you.
part.
That's
I am telling
bullshit.
you. I am telling. Ladies, am I lying?
Nope.
Yes, you
It is
are.
a certain type
I
of man
bet.
that
I
can
bet you
do
they
it.
tell you to speak for yourself.
Listen, there's a certain type of man that
I
can tell me
I
shut
bet
up,
you
and
they
there's a
write
certain type of
speak
man
for
that can.
yourself in the
Nigel,
comments.
just hear me out. There's a certain type of man that can tell me shut up, and there's a certain type of man that just cannot tell me shut up. The point that I'm making to you is that it is about the character. It's just his swag. It's just who the fuck he is. Nigel, you act like you not that nigga. Stop it.
I don't eat McDonald's. That's for one.
Nigel, you don't gotta even give. You
It's,
talking to
first
your
of
man?
all, it's,
Nigel, I'm being your waiting the day yard before you have relationship. I see people walk through your door and go straight upstairs. How we are talking to Nigel?
yeah, they know what they came for. They came for wood.
Nigel, the point that I'm making is you have a certain charisma that gets certain women to do certain things without you have to do certain things. There are some men that don't have that.
They don't.
Bottom line.
Tony
That is
definitely does
true.
not.
I agree.
All right.
I agree with that. I agree with that. However, a woman of certain caliber, you cannot take to fucking McDonald's. Even me. There's
Not
some women
directly
that is not.
McDonald's, but you don't have
There
to
is
do
some
much.
women that is not dropping their standard. No, don't care who you are.
I'm telling you, every woman drop their standards. I don't care who. There's
There's
always a
women that
man
is
out there
not
that
doing
can.
that.
Just
There's
hear me
some
out.
women that you pull up. I don't give a fuck who you are. You pull up in that fucking Ronald McDonald fucking driveway,
No,
and
not
she's
like
gonna be
that.
like, "Yo, what are we doing here?"
No, not like that. But there are some men out here that have the power to get women where they want them based on their character.
Every man got that. What are you
No,
talking about?
hell no.
Every man got
No, they
that.
don't. No, the fuck they don't.
I'm sorry, not every
Because
man.
if that was
Carlton
the case,
from the
Tony would have
fucking
had
Fresh
me.
Prince can't get me to do it.
Tamara,
Weekend
Tamara,
You
before
just said
last.
every
Fuck
Tamara,
is we
man has
talking
that, right?
about?
Tamara, Tamara.
But see, let me
We're having a
Now,
discussion.
Not hear you.
We're having a discussion. You just said that every woman has dropped their standards because of a man, right?
I have.
There's certain men that could get every woman to drop their standards.
I did.
Okay.
I have and I did. And I won't do that shit ever again.
Yes.
Wasted 9 years of my motherfucking life.
And I just said what? What did I just say?
You said every man can do it.
Married and all. I married the fucking loser.
Does that make sense?
Every man cannot do it.
Listen to what you just said and tell me if that makes sense.
All right. Not
Every man, you just said every man could get women to drop their standards.
I said certain men.
Certain men.
Certain characteristic in a man can get every woman to drop their standards.
And I'm telling you that is false. There's some women that they don't give a fuck who you are. They're not going to no Ronald McDonald fucking drive-through. That's what I'm telling you. So if you are willing to drop your standards, speak for yourself.
I'm saying McDonald's directly. What I'm saying is that
that's the reference you use, so that's what I'm using.
Let's take McDonald's off the market. What I'm trying to say to you is that there are women out here that will meet a man and certain shit that she normally would never do with any man in her entire life, that one man can come in her life and have her do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you said McDonald's, so I'm speaking to you based off of what you said.
I'm just saying figuratively.
Now you're trying to change the narrative.
Nigel, I'm not just saying McDonald's.
That's what women do.
But Nigel, McDonald's, yes, some of us will wind up going to McDonald's based on how
you will wind up going to McDonald's.
Oh my God, he's not.
You.
All right.
I'm telling you. You can't speak for every woman. Every woman is not y'all. Every woman is not y'all. Every woman is not like y'all. Every woman don't get. There's some women that's not frightened over a man.
Me.
Don't care who the guy is.
Like me.
All right then. So why you telling me that every woman would drop their thing for a certain man? There's some women that's not having that.
Beat. Majority of women will change their beat to the character of the man. Let's go there then. Majority of women will change their beat based on the character of the man. Yes. If Chris Brown come right in this room right now, I'm just saying, not just Chris Brown. Like, let's say Idris Elba.
You keep using references, and then when I talk about the reference, then you're gonna switch it again. We went from McDonald's. We went from McDonald's to Idris Elba now. All right.
Can Carlton come in this room and demand 10 women versus Idris Elba?
Based on his standard?
What standard?
Whatever his standard is.
Nigel, we're for be realistic.
Whatever
his like you, that's the fat girl can't get certain man. The kind of dude can't get certain woman.
I'm just gonna talk facts and reality.
Go ahead.
Right? There's some bum ass niggas that have no fucking nothing that I seen get girls, and you know how much times niggas look at a girl and be like, yo, how she with that nigga?
I said character. That's why I said character, not money.
You see, I'm not. Go ahead, talk.
That's why I said character.
Every time I start talking, you cut me off, but I gotta listen to you. Go ahead. No, go ahead, talk. Go
ahead. That's why I said character the whole time. I didn't say money. I said character.
If he makes you tingle.
Yeah, it's just your character. You ain't gotta have money, you just gotta have swag.
Mm. Interesting.
It's not about always money. It's about your energy.
Who said anything about money though?
You just said a bum ass nigga get all the girls, and all
A
I'm
bum
saying
ass
is saying,
nigga. A bum ass
yeah.
nigga.
And what am I say? Character.
And what defines a bum ass nigga?
Somebody that don't
He's
really
broke?
got. It could be his broke. It could be his character too. It could be his character.
So you never saw a nigga, right? Or square or somebody get a girl and you looking at her like, damn, why she is that nigga? You never saw that before?
I've seen it.
Okay. So my point to you is, based on your standard, this niggas out here fucking beer gal and they cornballs. So it all depends on your standard of who you attract. That's my point that I'm trying to make to you. So you might want to fucking touch your ankles at first sight when it comes to Idris Elba. There's some women that be like, I don't give a fuck about no Idris Elba. You frightened fiend. That doesn't mean everybody else frightened fiend. That's my point.
I hear your point.
So if you're gonna speak on that, then you gotta speak for yourself. But you can't say every woman. You know some woman when I drop them thing. The same way them have some man when I drop them thing. Them have some woman look sexy and everything, and guess what? Some man will turn them down. You know what? You know what we used to do for spite? When we used to chill on the corner in this punchline, nigga, walking like Afro shit. All of us used to just turn around and not say nothing. Cause guess what? That's what she was expecting. She was expecting one of us to holler at her. So to fuck her day up, we turn around and don't say a word. And that sit with her for the whole day. Them time that we are like 20, 24, whatever. You understand? And we just got a kick out of that. You feel me? Of course, there's standards where a woman are gonna do certain thing with one man but not do it with another. Of course. But there's some woman that nah drop them standard. Me not care who the person is.
Well, according to stats, that standard is very low when it comes to Idris Elba versus a call from Fresh Prince.
What's the stats?
I'm just saying.
What's the stats?
We gonna compare
where do we get
men.
This information from?
All right, so let's just compare men. Is Carlton more popular with women versus Idris Elba? Let's be realistic. Let's be honest.
First of all, you talking about a nigga that was a star in 1994 compared to a nigga that was a star
right now
in 1990 fucking in 2024.
All right, so let's compare somebody in 2024 right now. Let's compare them. Let's get a real corny dude and compare the one that's not. Let's think about it. Let's compare Chris Brown to, let's say, who? What's his name? Shit. And he sang that song, America. This is America.
Childish Gambino.
Now, he's popular based on his singing. He's popular based on his status. But let's put him in the room with Chris Brown. Or let's put him in the room with, what's that dude name that's Jamaican and British with the green eyes that everybody's going crazy over?
Aaron Pierre.
He has an African name from England. Put them in the same room together. Who do you think the ladies are going to go crazy over? Yeah, Childish Gambino and the other guy. Put them in a...
Tamara, your reasoning is off.
His name Aaron Pierce.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I said his name first.
Are gonna go for what's attractive, what they find to the eyes is masculine to them, and what comes across not corny to them.
You're not saying anything that hasn't been said for generations.
I know that.
Yeah, it's about that's basic biology, human and otherwise.
And guess what? If Carlton go in certain rooms, there's some girl that are mad over him. That he was a star when I was in high school. He was the man, and I always had a crush on him. There's some girls that will go crazy for him, And there is some girls who wouldn't even look at him twice. That's what I'm telling you.
But the numbers are higher with the woman that's not looking at him.
What are we talking about? We talking about high numbers, or are we talking about, because you said every woman, and you acting like,
majority
and you keep saying Carlton like if he can't get no box.
Majority
There's bum ass niggas getting box. There's niggas with no swag getting box.
That's not an argument. That
so then what are you saying then?
That wasn't the argument.
So what is the argument? Because you use and this is why there is no argument, because you keep changing it. You went from McDonald's to Carlton to Idris Elba, because you're not staying within the premise of the conversation. You're trying to make a valid point.
What I'm simply saying to you is that women are going to always be attracted to the man that takes over the room versus the man that don't. It's simple. If Idris Elba was to come to a group of women right now and say, I want to take you to McDonald's, and Carlton say, I want to take you to McDonald's, a large percentage of women is going to go.
All right, let me ask you a question. Would you touch your ankles on the first night for Idris Elba?
Maybe.
All right, do you consider yourself a groupie?
I don't think that's a groupie. It's what I'm attracted to.
What is that?
No, that would be me probably attracted to him.
So what's a groupie?
A groupie to me is somebody that's just obsessed over somebody's talent and whatever they status are. I'm talking about my main personal attraction.
And what?
That's it.
And what? They would do what?
But what about the women that sleep with the man that's not that status?
What is a groupie?
A woman that's a
groupie is not somebody who would fuck somebody on the first night, like because they are who they are?
Based on their status.
Okay, so then you're a groupie then.
But what about the woman that's not? All right, so what about?
Because if it was Idris Elba that worked at fucking Target, you wouldn't be on the same shit. But it's Idris Elba that was in that movie that he's so sexy and this and that. So what are you talking about?
About the woman that's fucking the regular dude that work at Target the first night too. Is she a groupie?
How could she be a groupie?
No.
How? You the one who mentioned Idris Elba. You didn't say a comment.
I'm just trying to say that I'm just giving comparison of swags. It doesn't matter about their status. I'm just trying to show you that there are men that have a certain characteristic that women are attracted to, Nigel. There are certain men that just have it, whether he's in a status or not. And there are some men that just do not have it.
All right, so if that was your point, why'd you reference Carlton and Idris Elba? And
I'm just giving the corny version and the regular version, like a fly version. That's it.
All right, so let me ask you a question. I'm trying to use somebody that's more normal. Idris Elba was eating K. Michelle ass. You can't get in my face.
Why are y'all like that? Why y'all telling all my business? Jesus Christ.
That's a public record.
What the fuck?
Sierra Leone has beautiful people.
Yo, y'all are so terrible, yo. Y'all are so terrible.
You see why you can't make Jamaica know your business?
For real, yo. Y'all are terrible.
So let me ask you a question. If you pulled up to the drive-thru, right? In McDonald's, and you saw Idris Elba working there, you ain't know who the fuck he was, you fucking him the same night?
No.
Why not? Because remember earlier, I'm just gonna remind you that you said it has nothing to do with money or status earlier.
I'm gonna go back. So let me go back. Let me go back. if I pull up to the drive-thru, right, and I am 20-something years old, let's say I'm 23 years old.
That's not what we're talking about. Where you going with 20-something? I'm talking about right now. You, who you are right now. If you pull up to fucking Chick-fil-A drive-thru and you see Idris Elba working in there passing you your bag, are you fucking him tonight?
No.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
No.
You said it has nothing to do with status and money. So what
I
are you
don't even know him. If I know him and he's...
See what I'm saying? You contradicting yourself.
That's not...
You contradict.
Sounds familiar.
That's called contradiction.
Sounds like Tony.
Absolutely
fucking
not.
Old ass contradiction.
No,
he's so fucking mixed up. He don't even realize that how much contradiction I done caught him in. Everything from money to fucking.
You will fuck Idris Elba because he is who he is on the first night.
He don't like to text, but he texts me right through. Since fucking since I met on fucking Easter weekend. Like.
Wow.
But let me ask you this then. Would you take out a girl that is not your type? She's heavy set.
No.
You see what I'm at? Why?
No.
Why?
Because why am I taking her out and she's not my type? Why am I doing that?
Why would you give her a chance?
Why am I doing that? We're not even exchanging numbers.
Why?
Because
why not?
You're not my type. You just said it.
I Joe, but you could have gave that big girl a chance.
You out of your mind.
I'm just saying she might be the best thing you ever had.
Might be, but I will never know.
Why not? She could have been a good leader.
Men are visual creatures.
Nigel, she could be a good. Nigel, she could be a good eater.
There's some men There's some men that like fat women. I am not one of them.
Nigel, she could be a good eater. She could cook for you.
She could massage you.
Wade Burton still in the penitentiary. I thought he was free.
No, I don't. I don't have a pussy. What are you talking about?
The eater for the man. Like she could give you good, she could give you good food. She could press your clothes. She could talk to you so good.
I will never know that. I will never know that.
Nigel.
The fuck are you talking about?
You don't know what Shaquisha could have been towards you.
A fat girl out. I don't like.
Why would you give Shaquisha a chance?
What?
Why would you give Shaquisha a chance?
Who?
Shaquisha.
Why don't you give Idris Elba the time of day at the drive-thru?
Exactly.
I'm good on that. But I'm just saying, why would you give Shaquisha a chance?
Let me tell you something. Everybody have a preference on what they want and who they into. I am not into fat women.
You gotta say it like that. Why you me and a former member of the fat community, it's in the part when it said fat women. I don't like that.
So what you want me to say that?
Fluffy.
What the fuck you have to emphasize the fat like that?
Because you fucking fat. What the fuck you want me to tell you?
Why you saying it like don't be like what the fuck? Why you couldn't just say
Yo, Len.
I'm here.
One time I went to do an interview with Tamara, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ate at the table, right? And they got this fucking fluorescent sign in the back talking about no fat shaming.
Okay. Your sound. Fix your sound. Your sound, Nigel. Fix your sound. That's why you see the fat society is doing this to him.
Yeah, they're like, come on. What?
No. What happens today is when someone has a preference, then they say, "Oh, you're fat phobic."
Fat shaming.
Yeah, like what?
That's
I'm gonna tell you why.
Victim mentality.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Y'all see what just happened? The fat gods came in.
They muted Ross.
Gods. They's like, nah, cut that. You see what happened? Yeah. Universe.
There's somebody for everybody.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, but the thing is, Major, you're with me on this. Kevin Samuels You know, his logic applied.
Don't even talk him up.
And see, he was trying to help. He was trying to help. He was trying to help his community.
And the
You know, but sometimes his delivery was a little bit straightforward.
So let me ask you a question, Tamara, because there's a difference between thick and fat. Right? There's some nice thick gal who are nice, you know.
Okay.
And then you have fat. So let's define what fat is first.
Let's define it.
Find somebody and tell me when you say fat girl, who you talk, what type of body structure you talking about.
Okay, so Missy Elliott back in the days.
All right, Rosalie then.
I'm not having a conversation about that young lady on this live.
No, we talking Rosalie.
She's
Mickey and David Rosalie.
She's fat, but I'm gonna take my face out the camera because I don't want that time.
Y'all afraid of Rosalie. You're afraid of Rosalie.
Turn that light on.
I just don't want them to bring out the Jamaican out of me outside. I don't want it to come outside. So no.
I'm waiting for someone to say the reference barbershop.
Lizzo look very good now.
Who, barbershop?
Yeah, barbershop. You know, difference between a woman with a big ass and a big ass woman.
Lizzo can't see my
Today? Today she can't?